So good morning, everyone. 皆さんおはようございます。Welcome to our Shotsuki monthly memorial service for the month of November. And I'm just going to begin with the reading of the Kansho bell. So again, are you comfortable if I speak without my mask on from this distance? Okay. Welcome everyone to our Shotsuki monthly memorial service. As well, together we will be holding our Eitaikyo service, which is the perpetual memorial service. So I would like to welcome, we have a number of people here live in the Hondo, over 20 people here, I think. So welcome to all of you, as well as to the number of people who are joining in via Zoom. Welcome to all of you as well. And we'll begin this morning's service with a moment of silent meditation, followed by the recitation of the Nembutsu, or the name of the Buddha. on Zoom? Yes? Okay. Next, we will be reading together the Homage and Three Treasures. For those of you who have the purple Satan, it's on page 11 of your purple Satan. Homage. Hard it is to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult it is to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we are hearing them. If we do not gain emancipation in the present life, we may not be freed from the sorrow of ocean of births and deaths. Let us fervently take refuge in the three treasures. We go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. Everyone, we go to the Buddha for guidance. May we always walk in the way that leads to enlightenment. We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. We go to the Dharma for guidance. May we be submerged in the depth of the teachings and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. We go to the Sangha for guidance. May we all with one accord live the life of harmony in the spirit of oneness, free from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriads of kalpas, hard it is to hear such excellent and profound teachings. Now we are able to hear and receive them. Let us try to understand the Tathagata's teachings. Namamis. So next, we will be having the sutra chanting. We'll begin by chanting the Sambujo, which is either on the screen or in your purple Satan. It's on page 89. And then following the Sambujo, we will have the chanting of the Sambutsuge. When we are chanting the Sambutsuge, I will be actually putting up on the screen the names of the Shotsuki individuals. When you see a loved one's name go up, if you are here in attendance, you can come up and burn incense during the Sambutsuge. So again, Sambujo, which is on page 89 of the purple Satan, followed by Sambutsuge, which is on page 73 of the purple Satan. Namandos, 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 namandos. Namandos. morning we have gathered here in the quietude of Amita's temple to commemorate the November 2021 Shotsuki monthly memorial service in conjunction with the Eitai Kyo service to remember all those who have passed away during this month of November. We faithfully recite the Nembutsu and humbly join our hands in Gassho. May the fragrance of incense teach us the purity of our intentions, and may the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of the glory of the Dhamma. May the lights that burn brightly upon the altar lead our thoughts to Amita's eternal light of wisdom and dispel the darkness of our ignorance.
disability, bring him out, probably have to call. What are you gonna do for? Are they putting incense in there? I don't think he did. Yes, he did.
If your name wasn't on the screen but you wanted to come up and offer incense, please do so now. Or if your loved one's name is not on the screen. Well,
At the very end.
if your loved one's name was not on the screen, please let me know afterwards and I'll write their name down to make sure that with this Zoom system, there's a little bit of technical problems. Sometimes the names got misplaced. So please let me know and I will make sure that their names are included in the coming years. So I apologize if your name or your loved one's name was missing from the screen. So please make sure you let me know afterwards, okay? So this morning we've gathered here, of course, for this November Shotsuki monthly memorial service. As well, we are here together. It's called the Eitai Kyo service. Eitai Kyo service is a perpetual memorial service. It is a service in which we remember the past members of the temple as well. You know, on one hand, we've gathered here to remember loved ones who passed on during this month of November. But at the same time, from a Jodo Shinshu perspective, we say that the loved ones have brought us to the temple today. So we call them, in Japanese, Zen Chishiki. Zen Chishiki means, translated, it means a wonderful teacher or friend who guides us to the Dharma. Okay? So by the very fact that you're either here in the temple or you're on Zoom, you have chosen to participate in a Buddhist service. So it's not only just to remember loved ones. If it was only to remember loved ones, you don't necessarily have to be at the temple. You can remember loved ones anywhere. But the fact that you are here at the temple means that they have actually provided you another opportunity to come and listen to the Dharma. Okay? So they are called Zen Chishiki, wonderful teacher or friend who has guided you to the Dharma. So as part of this, listening to the Dharma, the teachings, I hope that you will get something out of today's talk that will make you think a little bit more about your own life. And so I'd like to share with you some reflections that I've had recently. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm sure you've noticed. The moment Halloween was over on the TV, you probably noticed ads for Christmas or depending on the channel, there are now all these Christmas shows on the TV. And it seems like it's an annual thing now. The moment Halloween goes by, the next thing is preparing for Christmas, right? And I'm sure, especially with the pandemic that we've had over the year and a half, and as we slowly come out of it, I'm sure the malls are probably getting busy, getting ready for their, hoping for consumers to come back on their shopping sprees. But myself, I can't remember the last, do you remember the last time you were in a shopping mall? Well, personally, I'm not too thrilled to think of going back to a shopping mall, but I'm sure many people are eager to go back and do their shopping. But, you know, as I think about all this Christmas stuff, and the amount of energy or the amount of consumerism that is going into this whole holiday season begins to, you know, start thinking about what is true and what is real. What is true and what is real. And, you know, in the Buddhist teachings, in Jodo Shinshu, in most of the Buddhist teachings, there are two terms that they use. In Japanese, we call it Shintai, or true way, or world transcending way, and Zokutai, which means worldly way. Okay? Shintai and Zokutai, world transcending way and worldly way. Okay? So there was a person by the name of Zonkaku. Zonkaku, in our Jodo Shinshu teachings, we have the founder of Jodo Shinshu. His name was Shinran Shoni, and his scroll facing the altar, it's the one to the right of the statue of the Buddha. Okay? That was Shinran Shoni. And when he passed away, Shinran Shoni, when he passed away, his daughter, youngest daughter, was taking after him. Shinran Shoni passed away at the age of 90. So in 1263. So back then, the average life expectancy was about 50 years old. So for him to pass away at the age of 90 was a very, very, very long life. Okay? And when Shinran Shoni passed away, he himself, what he said was, because I have been fed by the fish from the Kamo River, when I pass away, throw my remains back into the Kamo River to feed the fish. But instead, his youngest daughter, her name was Kakushinyi, she didn't throw his remains in the river, she created a gravesite. And what happened after that was that people from around Japan would come regularly to pay homage to Shinran Shoni. And it became to the point where Kakushinyi said, I will donate the land that the grave is on to the members who are coming to follow. But she had one condition. She said, the one condition is that the heir to Shinran, or his offsprings, would be the custodian of that gravesite. So after she donated it, there was a lineage of people, blood lineage of Shinran's descendants who have been the head of our Jodo Shinshu organization. And it became actually a religion or an organized temple 2 generations after Shinran Shoni. His great-grandson, his name was Kakunyo registered with the government that this is in fact a temple and not just a gravesite. And he called that temple Honganji. So this is how our organization started. Okay. Now, after Kakunyo, the next in line was a person by the name of Zonkaku, Kakunyo's son. And so Zonkaku had written a book on the teachings called Haja Kensho. And in that book, he says, the Buddha's Dharma and King's Law are like a pair of Dharmas. It is like two wings of a bird, and it is like two wheels of a vehicle. One is imperfect without the other. So what he said was, just like two wheels on an axle, if one of the wheels is not functioning, that vehicle would not go straight. Okay? So you need both wheels to be working together. So what he called the Dharma law and the King's law are these two, the outer, or what did I say before? Transcending, was it? World transcending way versus the worldly way. They have to be in harmony. They have to go together, okay? Now, a number of years ago, I happened to have the opportunity to watch Dr. David Suzuki. I'm sure all of you are familiar with him. He gave a speech to, I can't remember the council, but one of the Canadian councils, and in that speech, he was talking about our modern economy. And he was talking about the fact that our modern economy is based on consumerism. So in our economy, we are taught from a very young age of purchasing and consumerism. And it's a never-ending cycle. And he said it's based actually all on artificial models. There's nothing real about it, right? It's based on our human greed is what it is. And what he said is that in that model, it doesn't take into what is truly important, things like water and air, things that life needs to exist. So he was warning. This was about 20 years ago that he gave this speech. And today we have all this ecological awareness now. But what he was saying was that our modern society, the economy, what our modern society is based on, this worldly way, has gone out of control. And in fact, the Buddhist teaching, the Buddhist way, is talking about interdependence, that all things are interconnected. When we gather here for the Shotsuki service to remember our loved ones, it is a time in which we remember again that interconnectedness with our past. But we are also interconnected with the world around us. And so as we listen to the teachings, we are learning about balance. And the whole temple is about balance. When we see the symmetry in the altar, it's all telling us about balance as well. And so, as we come here, we are to reflect on not only what we have in our worldly way, but now we are to reflect on the other wheel, the Dharma way. And that is the way that tells us what is truly important, our family, our friends, the oneness that we share with all of life. And unless we have that in perspective, the two wheels will not be in balance, and we get disharmony. So this service, through our loved ones, they're giving us another opportunity to reflect on my life and the life that I have right now, and to see the importance of the interconnectedness. So as we gather here for this service, through our loved ones, we are given this opportunity, and out of gratitude, we put our hands together to the workings of the Dharma, or in our Jodo Shishu teachings, we say it is the workings of Amida Buddha. And out of gratitude and respect, we put our hands together and recite the name of the Buddha or the Nembutsu. So at this point, if I can ask you again, please join me in Gassho as we recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namo Amida, Namo Amida. And now we'll close our service with the singing of the Ondok-san. And before Genevieve starts playing, let me just pull it up, Genevieve, so give me 2 seconds. For those of you who are here at the temple, it is in the purple seiten on Genevieve, what page is it on? 437 was it? I'm just bringing it up for the people at home, the words. All right, it's up there on the screen if you wish to join in. It's also in the books on 307 in the purple book. So for those of you who are able to and feel comfortable, please rise for the singing of Ondok-san. Please be seated. Once again, thank you all for coming. And I apologize for those people who may speak Japanese. I prefer Japanese, but we have our Japanese service at 11:30. We've switched it to half and half to English and Japanese. It's easier for me, then I don't have to go back and forth. So if you want Japanese services, please come at 11:30. 日本語の前には11時半から今やってますので、申し訳ございませんですけど、今のは英語だけのお参りでした。Thank you all for coming, and for those of you here who have brought the Homyo cards, please don't forget to take home your Homyo card and make sure you take the right one home. And for those that didn't have the names on the names up on the screen, please come and see me and let me know. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Sensei.
さよなら。
Thank you, Sensei.
私、ハズバンド、
はいはい。
11月の28日。
あ、そうですか。はい。 はい、ごめんなさい。お名前は
錦浜照夫です。
錦浜。
照夫。
ちょっと待ってペンを取ってきます。
あ、はい。抜けてたの？いや、私こっちバンコクから変わってきたんですよ、3年くらい前に。で、よう何しないからまだ名前入れてなかったんだけど。ああ、そうか。ちょっとね、車も話してしまったし、で、ここへ来たらお前できるからと思って。で、今年から名前出して。ああ、よかった。はい。うちのパパもあるんだけど、抜けてたね。抜けてたのね。あ、そっか。急に何年になる？18年。19年よ、今年でね。
照夫錦浜さんは11月28
8日です。
何年でしたか亡くなったの？
2003年です。
27日、28。
はい。
すいません、お名前を。
私の名前ですが、
はい
英子錦浜。はい。
はい、わかりました。
はい、3年くらい前にここにさせていただいたんですけど、バンクーバーでもだからお参りできなかったので、こちらに移った方が入ってからと思ってすみません。
はい、わかりました。じゃあ入れておきます。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
平野さんは
My dad was missed on the
Oh, is it?
screen.
Okay.
Yoshikazu Oura. Yes, on the list. Oura.
Yoshikazu Oura. And do you know what year he passed away?
2017回忌よ、今年。
Oh, 2005?
2005。11月の5日。
Okay. Okay.
すいません。
はい、わかりました。